This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Virtual Off-Road Racing is brought to you by Sparko, Lawrence Equipment, Dirt Sports World. This is Virtual Off-Road Racing. Howdy, 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 and welcome to the Virtual Off-Road Racing Series Pro 2 Championship here at Bark River. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Hex Valentine in here watching Racecraft TV for the Virtual Off-Road Pro 2 Championship. Hex, welcome to the commentary box, and how are you feeling about this race? We have a chance for the championship to be clinched here today by Cameron Peterson. Do you think he can do it?
Well, I'm not sure if he can or can't. This is my first time here. Very, very excited to be calling this series. I've always wanted to get more into the off-road series here at iRacing, and I just can't wait to see what these drivers put out. This course looks incredibly fun to drive, and I hope that we get some very high-action racing out of it.
Bark River has been giving us constant high-action racing ever since it's been released, and all the pro truck races that I've called here, all of them have had moments where I go back and rewatch every day because it just makes you go, wow. Such a fun-flowing track, not a lot of stop and go in areas. It just flows all over the place, and well, speaking of just flowing all over the place, we know somebody who really knows how to flow all over the place. Let's right on board with Zachary Drapkin as he takes us around a lap of Bark River. Coming across start-finish line, overneath the jump and into the first sector. Gets a good kicker jump and onto that long left-hander. Some might say that this makes the perfect start of an oval. A little bit of baking on the outside. And a little whoop section right here. One jump, two jump into the S's. Drapkin races here in real life. Underneath the gantry, overneath the big jump, heading into sector 2. This is the tightest turn on the course. Have to get onto the brakes and get back onto the throttle and into the whoop section. This rhythm section is very decisive. And if you just get it wrong, oh, it could change your race. A long left hand turn overneath the start line. To go over there. There's the pit exit right there. Shouldn't be seeing anyone coming out of there as they head into the hairpin. Should be a big attention zone. Everyone should be bunched up in here and into the final sector. Miss that apex just a little bit. Hit that outside banking. Get as close to the wall as you can. Another jump, and that is a lap around Bark River. Thank you, Zachary Drapkin.
Oh, he drove that fantastically.
Yeah, that
makes me wish I was down there.
Yeah, Zach, one of the best up here. But speaking of the best, the top 4 currently, it's Cameron Peterson, championship, well, potential championship clincher here today. And he's going to be very happy if he can do it this early on in the championship. And he's pretty much swept the championship so far, as it's been... Let me just read his results. First, and first.
I'm sorry, were you reading his results or stuttering?
Yes. Pretty much the same. Cameron Peterson, just one of the most dominant figures in all of iRacing short course scene. Keaton Swain jumps up in there into 4th place. Josh Edmondson, his championship rival, sitting in 3rd, with Connor Berry sitting in 2nd place, just 4/10 behind Cameron.
Wonder if you'll be able to make up that lost time.
Hey, you got a lot of time to do it in this 10-minute qualifying session. Brought to you by Sparco, Lawrence Equipment, and your voice of off-road dirt sports world. Thank you all of our sponsors for their beautiful support and offering up all the funding needed for this broadcast, the championship, and the championship prizes. I guarantee the teams are also putting in some work for their drivers, as well as, Connor. Well, it looks like he was already stopping his session right there, but that's one way to end it, with a wall hit.
Oh, yeah. Heavy impact.
Luke Knupp, also known as Nuppy by some of the drivers, coming across the line, picks up some damage right there, and he's going to go and reset that. Keaton Swain in that 21, very striking car. You don't see a lot of cars like this.
No, you really don't, but it's a very nice design he's got going on there.
Yeah, it's got like a 60s IndyCar vibe with that lightning. Little Al Unser tribute. Connor Parise, usually driving a rallycross here, but Jim Beaver brought him on and said, we'd like you to also try your hand at this. And hey, for somebody not really experienced in this, sitting 6th place right now as Josh Edmondson takes provisional pole from Cameron Peterson. Cameron Peterson just got the news that his teammate and championship rival just got ahead of him. So let's stay on board. Let's stay following Cameron Peterson as we head into the drone camera. And Cameron Peterson's #1 fan, Connie Eggleton, is watching right now. Shout out to Connie. And Cameron, it's going to be thankful of your support in this qualifying.
It's almost mesmerizing just how well these drivers are taking the track and mastering these jumps and just those hard-to-hit turns.
Yeah, he takes that berm section just pretty wide, as Karen Mageshik has let us know that is the Jack Flannery lightning bolt on Keaton Swain's car.
Oh, nice.
Man, I can't find anything wrong to say about this lap from Cameron Peterson. It is looking really good. He's fallen down to 3rd. A little bit of a misstep in that final sector. Connor Berry up into 2nd place. Peterson sitting in 3rd place. Across the line, does he get it back? Peterson goes into 2nd place by a 10th. He missed it by a 10th. Wow. And also a driver, the SCT Esports driver, rallycross driver, making his debut, Jacob Rafos, currently sitting in 6th place. After a good lap from him. Top 5, all within half a second of Josh Edmondson. But the top 3, all within 3/10 of each other.
Man, that battle for the top 3 is going to be very, very close, and I'm going to expect a lot of door banging as they race around the track because they all have, like you said, only tenths splitting them.
Yeah, as they all go off, it's time for our heat number 1 grid. Josh Edmondson and Connor Berry will be starting up on the front row, followed by Keaton Swain, Felix Roy. I've been corrected. Even though I've been doing the Canadian way, I'm going back to the American way, and I'm going to so mess this up during the race, so we all expect this. Zachary Drapkin, Greg Johnson, Bryce Semino, and Co Ashlock are our starting grid here for heat number 1. Remember, heat number 1 rules are the top 6 advance. So that leaves 2 drivers out. And, well, it's going to be a very competitive race like always, but this also determines where you're going to be starting in that front row in that finale.
I'm sure we're going to have a great first heat here.
Absolutely, we are, as they're all sitting on the, well, just on the track right now. 2 Jim Beaver Esports cars on the front row, followed by everybody else. We get a beautiful shot from the sky. iRacing pace truck leading off the field and leading Joshua Edmondson to lead off this grid 4 laps here in this heat, as well, Connor Berry getting a little bit excited, giving the truck a little bit of wiggle and you know, using those advanced tire warming strategies. They'll be starting as the pace truck goes on the inside. It'll be on the command of the 58, Josh Edmondson. As everyone's getting ready to go. Pace truck in, and it's green. Josh Edmondson gets onto the throttle, gets right ahead of his teammate, and into the back of him. That is Felix Roy looking onto the inside and gets onto the inside of Connor Berry. But Connor Berry gets back on there and onto the inside, but Keaton Swain swings around to the outside, and he's right onto the back of Josh Edmondson. They're 3 wide in the back. The iRacing official just says green flag right now, and we are green once again here at Bark River.
Wow, that was one hell of a battle for the front of the pack from those drivers, but glad they were able to keep it green as we just see Edmondson just tearing up the front of this track here.
Edmondson tearing up as well. 2 drivers made a great start. Zachary Drapkin also made a great start, but Keaton Swain, kind of a dark horse pick right now off the line, got an amazing jump on Connor Berry. Kind of got a little help with Felix Roy getting onto the back end of Connor Berry, but Keaton Swain in that Jack Flannery Lightning Bolt 21 got an amazing start and an advantage as going wide. Bryce Semino is there 3 wide in the back in that battle for that last transfer spot.
And they are really keeping it close out here as we watch the battle up here at the front, and Swain and Berry are just trying to chase down Edmondson as they go around the corner here, hit the top, able to keep it in, and I think Edmondson might have lost it a little bit there as Swain is starting to catch up with him finally.
Swain is right into his bumper. Let's ride on board of Keaton Swain right now. Yeah, he can touch that bumper right now and touch that gearbox pretty much. But, you know, in short course, to get around Josh Edmondson, you've kind of got to throw a little bit of an elbow out right here and there. It's short course, things are made to get broken.
Yeah, yes they are, and these guys are pushing their trucks to their limit as Swain is looking for any chance that he can find to get around Edmondson here as they hit the final jump here.
Keaton Swain looking for a little send up the inside. Josh Edmondson blocked him off right there. Very respectful driving by both of them. This is the heat race. They both ride on that berm just a little bit. And here comes Connor Berry back on to Keaton Swain, staying with these 3.
And 3 to go, and these top 3 truck drivers, they're all looking for that #1 spot. Even though it is just the first heat, they're driving like it's the last one that they'll ever do here tonight.
Because it will help their starting position, as you see all of them using that burp. Connor Barrett getting a little bit upset right there. Keaton Swain still trying to chase down Josh Edmondson. Edmondson actually using that bump on the apex right there. The tricky track designer at Bark River put in that bump to make it a little bit more enticing, to go a bit wide and open up that door to see if anyone will try to sneak it down there. Still, they all use it. Fastest lap of the race, Josh Edmondson, 1:14.42. Last lap for Keaton Swain, 1:14.92, half a second slower by Keaton Swain in this fight for the lead.
Yeah, and Swain's slowly losing time here as we go into the second lap here. I'm sure he'll be able to make up for that lost time. He's just got to keep pushing and keep pushing. I guarantee you he will get that first spot by the end of this first heat as he rides that outer curve again.
As they come under the gantry once more, that Z71 step side Z21 Chevy of Keaton Swain on the back of Josh Edmondson. He is so close right now. That fistful of bourbon. Jim Beaver Esports take a big shot of the curb. And here comes Swain. White flag in the air here at Bark River.
Yeah, Swain's got to find something to pull out of his bag of tricks if he wants to catch up to Edmondson, because he's just running this course flawlessly here today. I mean, look at how he's taking all these jumps, these turns. He's just mastered this course.
No one saw that, I swear.
All I see is good truck driving. That's all
absolutely. Keaton Swain, good charge now. Last chance effort on Josh Edmondson. Whoever wins this will be starting up on pole position, followed by the winner of heat number 2. But Keaton Swain just a little bit more. He can get to Josh Edmondson, but Edmondson putting the run on everybody else.
And what a fantastic race from these top 3 drivers here. They're giving it their all. And Swain and Edmondson were just having a good battle, but unfortunately Edmondson was just able to get away, find that gap, and just nail that line consistently.
As checker flag waves, and it goes to Josh Edmondson as he takes the win, followed by Keaton Swain and Connor Berry, Zachary Drapkin, and Felix Roy making it into the final, followed by Cole Ashlock in 6th place. Johnson and Bryce Semino will be headed to the last chance qualifier. And now we take a little bit of a breath, reload, as it's time for heat number 2. Cameron Peterson will be starting up on the front row with Luke Knupp starting right beside him. The newcomers, Jacob Rafos in 3rd place of the young Norwegian, trying to make a good debut for him, try to get into the finale, followed by Connor Paris, Chris Plumley, Andrew Keepers, Mikey Lords, and Nick Nowak as joins throughout the rest of the field right there in this 8-car stint. Remember, top 6 advance as they head into the finale. Last chance qualifiers, top 4 advance. So pretty much, if you're in this race right now, you will be making it into the finale. It's just where you will be placing. Think of it as a better system to F1 sprint qualifying system. Yeah, I'm throwing shade. As they get going, Cameron Peterson leading them out. And remember, Cameron Peterson, if he wins today, that finale, he will be crowned the Virtual Off-Road Racing Series Pro 2 champion. 2-time Pro 2 champion. As we're getting ready to roll. Pace truck is in. And they're all in the hands of Cameron Peterson. It looks like Nick Nowak is not taking the grid, so it's a 7-car grid here at heat number 2. And it's green, green, green! Immediately Luke Knupp defending onto the inside. 17, big contact right there. The 17 of, well, actually, no, that's a custom number right there. The 13 of Jacob Foss defending hard. Oh, Luke Knupp over-rotates it through that final sector. Jacob Foss taking a good advantage right there, but Luke Knupp, very good save, and that's Connor Parise in that 11 with a very disruptive start.
Man, that was very, like you said, a very disruptive start, but I'm glad that they were able to hang on to it. And we're seeing just Peterson just get away from it. Just a 1-second gap behind him and Knupp.
Yeah, Cameron Peterson, the only one who didn't have something go wrong on that start. Like, pretty much all of his races just been perfect. And now Luke Knupp and Jacob Foss in the battling for P2. And Luke Knupp and his famous internet connection blinking in and out sometimes. As Jacob, the newcomer, the SET Esports Rallycross champion, trying to make a good debut for himself. I was in a practice with him earlier, and he was on fire. And this kid is the real deal.
Yeah, he's definitely proven it out here today, and just the way that these drivers have been pushing it. Unfortunately, I don't think that gap is going to get any smaller here unless Knupp can really find it with 4 to go as they cross it into 3.
Yeah, Knupp's actually making a bit of ground on Cameron Peterson. That last lap, Cameron Peterson did a 1:18.2. Luke Knupp did a 1:19.49. And everybody else is over the 120. So Cameron Peterson and Luke Knupp are in a world of their own right now as they are racing it on and trying to get a good result for the finale, but a little bit of an advantage is falling away and going into Luke Knupp's court as he is gaining on Cameron Peterson.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to close this gap out here as we just see Peterson riding that inside curve as he goes around and Knupp doing the same as he follows right behind him. And some blinking as well by the 48.
Mikey Lawrence sitting in 7th place of Lawrence Equipment. Off the pace just a little bit, but I believe he had a very unfortunate incident as he goes a bit wide, trying to chase down Andrew Keepers in that transfer spot of 6th place, who is in a battle with Christopher Plumley.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened. I don't think I was able to catch quite what happened to him to knock him out of this race, but that's unfortunate.
He's still in this race. If he doesn't make it into the top 6, he will be going to the last chance qualifiers, and we will be seeing him in the finale, as only 4 will be going to the last chance qualifier, but Nick Nowak being out, that means there's only 3 cars in the last chance qualifier, so everybody goes in is just setting everyone up for our finale.
And it's going to be one hell of a finale as they make their way past this huge jump here into the to the S turn. Excuse me.
Last lap, Cameron Peterson, new fast lap of the race, 1:14.41. 4/10 faster than Luke Knupp, and then it's a 15.1. So 6/10 faster than 3rd place of Jacob Foss. But what a debut that Jacob is having.
Don't think you could have wished for a better debut than the one he's putting on right now.
Yeah, from Kivensdale, Norwegia, or Norway, not Norwegia. I know geography, I swear. Norway, the Norwegian. There, that's what I was trying to say. I've been out of the booth for a while. But Jacob Foss.
Yes, have I.
Hey, you haven't made a mistake. You're fine. Jacob with a very good debut, sitting in 3rd currently. White flag is in the air.
And let's hope he keeps it clean and consistent. No commentator's curse here tonight.
We got a battle for 5th place between Chris Plumley and Andrew Keepers, and at 36 and 99. Plumley staying to that apex. Keepers goes a bit wide. Plumley using all the track right there, riding on that berm, as Cameron Peterson, the one, the only Cameron Peterson, is closing in on that final sector. A few more turns to go, and then he will be locking himself into another finale.
Just one hell of a debut.
One hell of a heat for Cameron Peterson. Luke Knupp in 2nd place, and then Jacob Rafos with a one crazy debut, finishing in 3rd in his heat race, and that will get him around 6th place, starting in the top 6 for the finale. As everybody is getting ready for this race, they're heading into the warm-up time. 5-minute warm-up now here at Bark River. So after these 2 heat races, we get ready for our last... Actually, no, I think we skipped the last chance qualifier. I believe they just skipped the last chance qualifier.
I believe they did.
So as we get ready for the finale in this warm-up, Hex, anyone who's standing out of the crowd and has a outside shot to win this or make a big surprise?
I don't think we're going to see an underdog story here. I mean, the top 3 drivers from each heat were nailing it consistently. They'd have to, like, majorly mess it up here if we're going to get an underdog story. Those drivers at the front of the line and the front of the pack were just way too consistent.
It is looking a bit way too consistent, but it honestly has a little bit of chance for that true underdog story. We saw it happen with Keaton Swain making an amazing start. He wasn't in that front row, but he was able to play that start game and just really get it right. And hey, that's somebody we really look forward to and have a big, just big ups on the guy.
Big ups indeed.
Other drivers of that caliber are Jacob Rafos. It is his debut, but that he might be able to steal a 3rd place, or are we going to be seeing a Jim Beaver Esports 1, 2, 3? Outside of Cameron Peterson, Josh Edmondson, all the other Jim Beaver Esports drivers been a little bit shaky. Luke Knupp was able to keep 2nd place behind Cameron Peterson, but Connor Berry had a very rough first race.
Yeah, he did.
I also want to thank all of our viewers here on Racecraft TV. With your support, it just brings us a lot of happiness that you come here and support us week in and week out and enjoy the show that all these drivers here at the Virtual Off-Road Pro 2 Championship put on for y'all, and your support and to us and the drivers. Well, it just makes us really happy. Also want to thank our sponsors over at Sparco, Lawrence Equipment, and Dirt Sports World, your voice for off-road. You're here watching Racecraft TV for the Virtual Off-Road Racing Series. As I say, it's finale time. All right. It is time for our feature, and let's bring up the grid. Josh Edmondson qualified on pole position, just ahead of Cameron Peterson. Keaton Swain lines up in 3rd place in that 2nd row, followed by Luke Knupp. Connor Berry in 5th, followed by Jacob Rafos, Zachary Japkin, and Connor Parise in 8th place, followed by Felix Roy, Chris Plumley, Cole Ashlock, and Andrew Keepers in 11th and 12th. Our final 4 spots are Greg Johnson, Mikey Lawrence, Bryce Semino in 15th place, and Nick Nowak, who I do not believe is on the grid, here today, but that is where he will be starting if he is in the session. Everyone's all set and ready. The championship can be clinched here if Cameron Peterson beats out Josh Edmondson and wins. It's the finale. And remember, we got that competition caution on lap 6.
Yeah, so like even if Peterson can't break away in the first 6 laps, he will still have another chance to take it all away from everybody here in the field. And I expect him to at least be battling as hard as he can for that first spot. And I know he wants to end it all here and lock out this championship, but Edmondson was doing so great that first run that it's going to be a very, very close race for these 12 laps as the pace truck goes in.
Pace truck is in. Jim Beaver Esports 1 and 2. Green flag is in Josh Edmondson's hands. And we are green, green, green. Josh Edmondson gets onto the throttle. Keaton Sway immediately looking it out to the inside of Cameron Peterson, trying to get a nose in there. We got one Jim Beaver Esport car being turned around by Zachary Drapkin. That's not the Zach that we're used to. Luke Knupp looking on to the inside of Keaton Swain, but Swain holding around to the outside Cameron Peterson, and we got a big contact right there. Felix Roy is off into the wall, and that's a big gaggle of cars.
And unfortunate to see a driver like that. And there's still door banging here as we go over the cross finish line jump. But that's just unfortunate to see somebody spin like that. Not much you can really do. There's only so much dirt that you can move around in at a good optimal line around this track.
Yeah, look at Connor Paris's car. Very binged up right there. Is there 3 wide over the jump? Rafos and Paris. These two know each other from Rallycross, but they're showing it truck style on Zach Drapkin, who's looking up to the inside, setting up down low, but Paris holding it around the outside in that number 11, trying to follow his rival on that 13. That's a Norwegian driver in his debut, currently sitting in 5th place.
Man, just the drive these just the way that these drivers are putting their trucks through this track, it's gonna be a very, very heavily contested race here.
And heavily contested it is. Josh Edmondson and Cameron Peterson, the fight for the championship to keep alive is still on. We were talking with Josh saying he's going to try to do everything he can to keep Cameron Peterson behind him and keep this championship alive, even though if he wins this race, Cameron Peterson wins the championship. So it's pretty much a do or die situation right there, as right behind him the fight for third, Luke Knupp and Keaton Swain are battling side by side and nose to tail with each other.
I'm sure he'll be able to put on a hell of a show for the both of us up here in the booth and for everybody watching as they try to keep this championship alive. I mean, we're only 1 lap down, a little too early to call it, but we'll see what happens as we get deeper into this race.
What a move by Knupp. Went up onto the inside. Keaton Swain gave a room, trying to go for the switchback around there, but Luke Knupp able to make that move happen. And Knupp back into 3rd place and back onto the podium. And try chase, and oh, Keaton Swain goes onto 2 wheels and into the K-rail barrier right there onto the inside. Gets back on track and gets down into 5th place behind the young Norwegian driver of Jacob Rafos.
Unfortunate to see him go on 2 wheels like that, but luckily he's still in the race, but I don't think he'll be able to chase back up there.
Here is the replay of Keaton Swain. Just hits that barrier, goes all the way onto 2 wheels, locks it up. Unfortunately, hits that camera. He might have suspension damage from there. Let's get back to racing here at Bark River. Battle for first continues on as we ride on board of Cameron Peterson, chasing down Josh Edmondson. Name a time where we didn't say that. Last round, Edmondson led the entirety of the race at Crandon, and then Cameron Peterson in the final lap did exactly what Josh did in the opening season to him again in that last chance hairpin move. Sent it up the inside, showed him the bumper, and gave him a little bit of a bump and run. And Cameron Peterson made a mistake, stalled out, drift mid-corner, and wasn't able to keep the momentum. And he's fallen away from Josh Edmondson as he pulls a 1.5 second gap to P2.
Yeah, Peterson's going to have to start praying for Edmondson to make a mistake here, because that gap, as soon as he hits that 1 second mark, it's almost impossible to reach him back. The man's just been driving flawlessly around here today. 3
of the best off-road pro truck short course drivers in the world. 1, 2, and 3 right here. Edmondson, Peterson, and Knupp. And all of them still have a chance to win due to that competition caution on lap 6. And look who is in 4th. Young Jacob Rafos. On his debut in the series. Already up 2 spots in this race. And he's making it look good. And look behind him. What is going on there? Drapkin, Paris, and Plumley getting all wild and out.
Yeah, they're having a hell of a battle back here as they're able to keep it closer than our top 3 racers as they continue to battle here for, I believe, 6th position. Sorry, my internet's falling apart here.
It is 6. So you are right. Yeah, Drapkin leading out Connor Paris and Chris Plumley. All of them taking different lines through there as they go over the start-finish line. And I believe our drone operator has caught up to them. So let's go on board of our Racecraft TV drone cam.
And whoever's flying these drones should think about getting into one of these trucks that might have a career in it.
I wouldn't say that much, as I'm rubbish with a wheel. As Chris Plumley almost hitting the drone right there. Connor Paris right still trying to catch up to Zach Drapkin right up ahead as they go underneath the gantry once more. The gantry is that restart line that we will use, but it's not the finish line. There's the gantry. That turn is so long. You're pretty much turning left for 270 degrees from the exit of that whoop section. And the radius tightens, and then it lightens up, then it tightens again. Zach Drapkin gets into the back of Rafos, and now Rafos falls down. Drapkin getting into the back of another car as Paris is falling to Drapkin. He's trying to hold around to the outside, gets into that wet dirt out of the blue groove right here as there is the competition caution. Drapkin, very opportunistic, gets that place there, but we are underneath that caution right here, and opportunistic Zach Drapkin made it up into 5th place. Do you think he will have to get that position back, or was that fair? It was right at before the line.
I mean, it's a little too close to call, but in all honesty, I think he earned that position. Very patient and waited for the moment to make a move, and these 2 drivers just got into it, and he was able to move up 2 spots. I don't think he should give it back.
All right, and most of these drivers know when a move is a move. So Zach Drapkin is looking like he's holding position. All these drivers very respectful to each other. And now is Josh Edmondson holding grid right now as they're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Field once again bunched up and looking back at Cameron Peterson in a spot where we usually aren't used to seeing him in 2nd place as Josh Edmondson ready to get this field back to green flag racing. They're on his call. And it's green, green, green!
A bit more organized and cleaner as they take this turn. I don't see anybody spinning out here. As they hit the top of the curb here and are able to keep pushing. Is Peterson still trying to chase down Edmondson to try to close out this championship, but Edmondson has yet to make a mistake with only 6 to go as we're halfway through it here.
And Luke Knupp showing the nose on Cameron Peterson right now. Peterson, this is the person that you do not want to have behind you. Aggressive Luke Knupp as Peterson goes wide. In that long left-hander, allowing Knupp to get onto the inside. But Peterson able to hold out the speed right there, heading to those 2 jumps. But Luke Knupp is getting into Peterson's head as Edmondson's pulling away from him. And Keaton Swain goes a bit wide, just cakes that K-rail right there. That's going to be a lot of damage. Knupp getting a little bit offset over the whoops. Peterson still in second place, 8/10 behind Edmondson. And charging Luke Knupp really wants to make a name right here and get onto that second place, as it's been Cameron Peterson and Josh Edmondson 1-2 so many times. He wants to throw his name into the hat.
Well, he's definitely going to be able to if he keeps it up and keeps pushing that line and able to make the moves. We'll see if Peterson goes wide again here.
No, keeps it on the edge and keeps it down to the inside. These Pro 2 trucks only rear-wheel drive, unlike the Pro 4 trucks on the other series that we cover here on Racecraft TV on the iRacing short course. They use the Pro 4. We use the Pro 2s. Pro 2s, quote, harder to drive, more rewarding. And let me tell you, rear-wheel drive in dirt is incredibly rewarding if you get it right.
Yeah, that they are.
Another battle throughout the field. Zach Drapkin and Jacob Foss in that fight for 6th place. They're all so close to each other. Their relative is still showing the battle for 3rd on the header. See the different lines that everyone's taking to set this up. Getting all up into that berm. Rafas, Jacob, all over the place. See Connor Parise actually getting up onto the berm and using a different line and a slower setup, but a much more rewarding exit. That's what the magic of Bark River is. Even if the track map looks a bit phallic.
Yeah, it does. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to get TOS'd.
Ah, you're all right. And Andrew Keepers and Chris Plumley having a bit of a fight. Keepers, well, he might need to be keeping a few spare parts as he's missing the entire front hood as Drapkin and Rafas switched up the spots. Drapkin looked out to the inside and made up that move on Rafas. Drapkin up into 6th place.
Yeah, I wonder where his hood went.
It might have gone where a few people's bumpers are right now. And Rafas looking out to the inside of Drapkin, unable to have it as Plumley goes down to the inside of Keepers, and he's going to keep that position for himself. Plumley into 8th.
Yeah, these middle of the field drivers are having a hell of a battle, and it's very, very great stuff here tonight.
Fantastic driving by everybody here in the iRace, in the virtual off-road racing series. So be right on board of Jacob Rafas. Get to see how much tilt is in the truck. Oh, Drapkin cases the wall right there. That's going to be hurting his entry with 3 laps to go. And Drapkin's around. Drapkin was around. Rafas snuck it down in there. Helped Drapkin out by giving it a little bit of tap. But Jacob Rafas back into 6th place.
Yeah, Rafas just almost gets all of almost gets all of him as he was coming over the jump, but just barely gets by him. glad that Jacob didn't get collected there too. Yes, he just gives him a little hood-to-hood contact, turns him right back around, says, here you go, pal, get back on track.
Nah, stay behind me, please. And, well, Zach's doing everything, but except for that last request. As he is, well, he's currently behind him, but he's not behind him. He's all up behind him. 2 laps to go here at Bark River. Going wide is Rafas. The SCT Esports Driver does not want to do that. And Trapkin showing in the bumper. Trapkin back up into 6th place.
And Rafas making contact with him as they come back in off the exit of that turn. And I think Jakob might be a little frustrated here as we can see him pushing a little bit more aggressively to get his spot back from Trapkin.
Oh, let's make a little bit of contact. And Rafas got Trapkin out wide. He shows him the bumper in the 36, and Chris Plumley gets into the side of these two, trying to yeet it up the inside. But it's not going to go for Chris Plumley as Keepers gets back into 8th place. As Jacob Rafas and Zach Trapkin are changing blows turn for turn, lap for lap here at Bark River. They can fight forever, it seems, but it's only got 1 more lap to go between these two. White flag this time by.
We'll see if Jakob can keep back Trapkin as he's trying to hold on desperately to the 6th spot as they are just getting really aggressive with each other, banging each other's doors and almost pushing one another off the track here.
Yeah, Trapkin, after that wide line that Rafas has been using, he uses it again, but it comes across, he tightened up, Rafas tightened up and he spun out. Oh no! He stalled out mid-turn, came across the track right into the line, got up into that wet dirt, gripped up right there, and bam! Trapkin gets in there, and Rafas went around, and that is a unfortunate end to a dominant performance at the start. White flag is in the air. Cameron Peterson in 2nd place. Josh Edmondson in the lead. The championship races on here in the Virtual Off-Road Pro 2 Championship as Josh Edmondson ends the streak of Cameron Peterson as he takes the win here at Bark River.
And yeah, that was just an unfortunate racing accident that we had back there. Unfortunate to see Jakob drop all the way from 6th to 10th. But it is what it is out here with these dirt racing. It's extremely unpredictable.
Luke Knupp, Cameron Peterson, Josh Edmondson, your finishing position drivers. They're all going to pose for the camera right here. And, oh, Cameron Peterson giving Connor Paris a little bump, saying, get out of our photo. What a race we had here. We're still waiting for a few drivers to come across the line. I believe Bryce Semino is the last one to get across there before we could get our grid. And there it is. Let's take a look at our race results. Josh Edmondson of Jim Beaver Esports takes his first win of the season for the Virtual Off-Road Racing Series Pro 2 Championship here at Bark River, followed by Cameron Peterson, who unfortunately did not clinch the championship today and will be going on for another round. Luke Knupp finishing in 3rd, followed by Keaton Swain, Connor Paris, Zach Trapkin, who was in that amazing fight for 6th place with unfortunate results to Jacob Rafas. Andrew Keepers finishes down in 7th, followed by Chris Plumley. Jacob Rafas in 9th, followed by Mikey Lawrence, Greg Johnson, Bryce Semino, Cole Ashlock, Connor Barely, Felix Roy, and Nick Nowak, who did not take the start. 15 cars, 15 trucks, battled it all pound to pound, punch for punch here today. And man, what a race we saw here today. And I believe we have our drivers waiting for us in the interview room. So let's bring on our 3rd place finisher, Luke Knupp. Luke, How was that race? You were so close, but yet so far away from the top two. You made a great move at the start to get up into that third place spot, and well, the rest was history. You had Keaton Swain on you throughout that race, though. How was it?
It was a solid race. Just wanted to actually put a good race together, and I finally put it down. And just the factory sim sport set was on fire again, and just it was a super fun race. We gained a lot. I feel like on Josh and Cam there. We're getting closer every week, but like you said, so close but so far. But either way, a third place is awesome still.
It absolutely is, and you were doing some great fighting out there here in Bark River. Next week, next time on July 18th, no, this is July 18th, in the finale in August 8th, we're going to be at Crandon. How you feeling about that race? And it's Crandon. Everything goes there. The championship's going to be decided there. And you can make up some big names there because we've seen you perform at Crandon really well.
Yeah, with the speed I had at round two, I think it was, and then we had a race last weekend. I put a lot of time actually into Pro 2 at Crandon, just trying to get better, and I know I have a lot of speed there, and I really feel like I have some good pace, and maybe can pick up my first ever win there.
All right. Well, you heard that here first. Canup looking for it all right there. Luke, before we let you go and get ready for Crandon and a well-deserved break, anyone you want to thank?
For sure, Factory Sim Sport, Keaton Swain, Tyson Miller put a lot of time into the setup, and it really showed. We went 3 and 4, and then had Plumley out there and Bryce out there too. So, and then everyone else, Ultra Wheels, Factory Campy's Rigid Industries, uh, Impact Race Gear, HJC Helmets, Desert Squadron. Thank you guys.
All right. Pretty sure all of them are happy to hear from that and your performance here today. Congrats on a third, and we'll see you next time at Crandon.
For sure, thank you.
And standing by with Hex. He could have locked in the championship today, but unfortunately, his teammate just said no, and we're going to the finale. Cameron Peterson is standing by with Hex.
Peterson, how you feeling out there, man? Unfortunately, you couldn't close out the championship today by snagging a win here, but second place is too bad. Tell me, what was the most difficult part of this track here today outside of trying to chase down Edmondson?
I think I had the speed, so I think it was just consistency, and probably didn't put in enough practice laps today to keep up with Josh, definitely. So he's super quick here. He's quick everywhere, and if it's one thing to keep up with them, it's another thing to pass them, like we always say. But I'm glad to see my teammate win. Jim Beaver Esports the 1-2, so happy for that. That's awesome. Again, second place. I've only lost 4 points here to Josh. I think I'm going into the last race with a 22-point lead or something like that. So, I think just looking for a solid finish at Crandon, and should wrap it up hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, you were having one hell of a race down there. I mean, it was exciting up here to watch from the booth. You both were going back and forth, back and forth. As we were watching you race, and trying to claw your way back up, I'm sure that you and your teammate were having some good back and forth banter. But as you get ready to head into this race next week, outside of practicing, what do you think the track's going to look like? And obviously, you are hoping to finish with more points than when you came in with. But what does that track look like for you? Is it something you've been looking forward to? Is it one of your favorites? Tell me your thoughts on it.
I'm looking forward to it now that I got a comfortable lead. It's at 22 points. That's about 11 positions, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. So pretty much just a top 10. I crammed along. Seems doable for me, I think. I'm just gonna run a smooth, clean race. I'll definitely put in practice next week. That's for sure. Everyone seems to be catching up to me and passing me. So I think it's gonna be a good. Is it gonna be a win for me? I don't know. I'm just looking for the championship.
I'm sure you'll be able to snag it up next race. I mean, the show and performance you're putting on down here looks very, very promising. Can't wait to see what you do next week. Is there anybody you wanted to thank here today, Cam?
Really, you guys for the show. Looking forward to watching the broadcast back. For Josh putting on the VORRS Racing League, everyone else racing it as well. Everybody on the Jim Beaver Esports team, General Tire, Fistful of Bourbon, Polaris Razor, Vision Wheel, Saint Racing Fabrications, Chris Leone's Motorsport Drop, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish, GSP, XTB Axles, Gibson Performance Exhaust, Cronus, and everybody watching at home right now.
Well, thank you very much, Cam. Our second place winner tonight, Cam Peterson. And I can't wait to see you next week. Cam, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And I'm standing by with our race winner, Josh Edmondson. Josh, it was a fantastic race. You said before this race that, quote, I don't think you have enough to catch Cam tonight, so I'm expecting he's going to lock up the championship. Was that a Lewis Hamilton beat yourself down before the race so you get that magical bit of speed? Because you had all the pace here today.
Oh, yeah. No, that was more about the championship points. I definitely wanted to beat him in a single race. You know, I gotta stop the win streak. I like seeing my teammates do good, but not win all the races and me none. So yeah, it was it was good to get out front and actually qualify ahead of him. That helped a lot to have that starting position in the feature is huge to get out front and just have some clean air. So yeah, I don't know if we'll have anything for him in the championship, but it's awesome to win a race. That's for sure.
August 8th, the finale at Crandon. Those land rush starts have proven to be kind of deadly for some of our drivers in the finale. We've had incidents of drivers getting barrel rolled over the K-rail no matter where they started. Are you a bit fearful of that start?
Well, not really. I guess, yeah, now that you say that, that's maybe there is some chance to win the championship. You know, if anything does happen to Cam in there, maybe if I can win the race, I'm not sure. He'd probably have to finish like worse than 7th or 8th or something, which is, you know, you don't see him do that very often. So we'll see. I mean, it's possible, but no, I'm looking forward to the final round. Hopefully I can get another win.
Just don't be the one that hits him.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. None of us want to do that.
Yeah, well, it was a fantastic race for you. You took the heat win, you took pole position, and you took the finale win, and I believe you led every lap of the way you did it, and I don't know what a Grand Slam is in the short course world, but I believe you just done it.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like that was it.
Yeah, that is.
Like to do that again.
Well, hey, you got one more chance in this season to do it and try to topple the reign of Cam Peterson. It's a long shot, but hey, people love an underdog. Josh, before I let you go, get ready for the big house. Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to you guys putting on the broadcast. Stoked to go back and watch it. And then Fistful of Bourbon. Winners get whiskey. Feels good to say that. Don't always get to do that, so that's cool. And then shout out to the rest of the Jim Beaver Esports team. All the guys, Cam putting in work, Connor, Felix, everybody, and Matt Kalish, new painter, Dirtfish, General Tire, GST, XTV Axles, Rigid, Vision Wheels, Acronis, everybody else. It's cool. So looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, we're looking forward to see your performance back out on track. Congrats once again, Josh. And over to Hex for some closing thoughts.
My closing thoughts here tonight is that the top 3 drivers here were just having a hell of a battle. Couldn't keep my eyes off of them. They were pushing their trucks as hard as they could, mastered this track, and Edmondson was just extremely consistent. Didn't see this man make a single mistake out there. Hell of a drive. Peterson was pushing as hard as he could, trying to catch up to Josh. Even though they're teammates, I'm sure he would love to get past him and close out this thing and walk away with the championship. But it is what it is. Fantastic driving for everybody in the field as well.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us here in the Virtual Off-Road Pro 2 Championship here at Bark River. We'll be seeing you next on August 8th at Crandon to put out this series, this championship, once and for all. Who is going to be wearing the crown? Cameron Peterson up 22 spots. If he gets a top 10 finish, he will be your champion, but that land rush start could be anything but disastrous for Cameron Peterson. Can Josh Edmondson close that gap to take back first place and end the streak once more? We'll find out. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Racecraft TV. Shout out to Sparko, Lawrence Equipment, and your voice for off-road dirt sports world. I've been joined by Hex Valentine. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.